My name is Rafael, you're watching Rock and Roll Garage, and today I'm going to show you the 7 blues musicians that the legendary ZZ Top guitarist and vocalist Billy Gibbons said are some of the best of all time. But first, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment. Well, Billy mentioned these artists back in 2017 in an interview with Sammy Hagar for Sammy's Rock and Roll Road Trip TV series. And we selected what he said about these artists over the years and his connection with some of them. So let's start. The first one that he mentioned was Jimmie Reed. Jimmie Reed, he really praised Jimmie Reed in an interview with Rolling Stone back in 2015. And this is what he said. The first guitar landed in my lap. It was a Gibson Melody Maker single pickup. I took off to the bedroom and figured out the intro to What I'd Said by Ray Charles. Then I stumbled into a Jimmie Reed thing. He was the good luck charm. I played Jimmie Reed going to sleep at night and in the morning. So he was a big fan. He still is a big fan of Jimmie Reed. And the curious thing is that Jimmie Reed was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame by ZZ Top. That's right. Yeah, this happened back in 1991. And during his speech, Gibbons said, "I can't buy a car without first playing a Jimmie Reed tape before driving it." What a statement, you know, it's just amazing. But let's go to the second one. Second one is the first king of the list. As you know, a lot of bluesmen are called King, and Freddie King is the second one on the list. Back in 2012, ZZ Top also was the band that inducted him into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And during his speech, Billy Gibbons said this: "Yeah, Freddie taught us what it was like to play as a group. Freddie could just give you that look, and you knew exactly where to take the music. He had a powerful, unique style of both singing and playing that earned him the nickname Texas Cannonball." And obviously he had the chance to see Freddie King live a couple of times and even paid tribute to him since he inducted. He was alongside Dusty Hill and Frankie Beard. He was the one that inducted Freddie King to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Freddie died at the age of 42 back in December 28, 1976 due to ulcers and pancreatitis. So sadly, he didn't have the chance to receive the nomination and be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The third one on the list, another king, is Albert King. And Billy Gibbons praised the musician in an interview with Goldmine magazine in 2013. And during this conversation, he recalled that they were good friends. And this is what he said: "We socialized with Albert on a daily basis while residing in Memphis. Barbecue at the Red Devils, Cono Cream at Tony Fortune's Daiquiri Works on Beale Street, hanging out with his manager, Gary Bells, at Kiva Studios, bailing Albert out of jail for dice games. Man, it was a mighty gift to enjoy being befriended by Albert. He was definitely a king." Showed up for a Billy Gibbons birthday bash thrown by Christine Reed in the Peabody Suites, where we all took lodging. It was just a remarkable friendship, so I hitched many a ride in one of his new Suburbans, complete with a matched pair of locomotive air horns mounted on the fenders. I wagered many a winning dollar with Albert holding court at the Southland Greyhound Racing Park across the Mississippi River Bridge. Albert preferred enjoying spooning ice cream while smoking his pipe. The tall tales abound when Albert was around." So he had the chance to be a good friend of Albert King, who sadly passed away too soon in 1992. And that's some of a part of the good memories that Billy Gibbons have of his late friend. Now we go to another king, B.B. King, with whom Billy had the chance to play many times. And the curious thing is that Billy Gibbons' father had to go to a recording studio when Gibbons was young, and one day took him to that studio and had to do a couple of things there and left him in a chair. He was sitting on a chair. He was a young kid, and B.B. King walks in and starts to record a song. He was recording an album, and he had the chance to, Billy, a young kid, had the chance to see B.B. King recording in the studio with his band. And later on, obviously, they became friends. Gibbons told him this story. And there's a really interesting story about the two, that B.B. King gave an important advice for Billy Gibbons. And he told this in an interview with Sweetwater back in 2020 that we transcribed. And this is what he said. Early on, I've got the privilege of sharing a dressing room with B.B. King, upon which he said, "Hey, do you mind if I have a few strums on your guitar?" Well, at the time I was thinking to get the big, bad, loud sounds from the blues guys. You had to have super heavy strings, and it just took one or two strums. So BB looked at me kind of quizzically, and he said, why you are working so hard?" Well, I said, "What exactly does that mean?" He said, "Well, these strings are so heavy." I said, "Well, isn't that what you need to get the big bad sound?" He said, "No. Back in the day when there was only one set of strings available, the black diamond, one gauge, we used to do a trick. You used to throw away the big E string, move everything down one, then borrow a banjo string to make it a light gauge set." So this was an important advice that Gibbons received from the late legendary B.B. King. And now we go to the next one, who is Albert Collins. In an interview with Guitar World in 2021, Gibbons said that Albert Collins' show was one of the greatest concerts he went to in his life. And, you got to remember, he had the chance to see almost all these great bluesmen playing live. And this is what he said. "Having grown up in Texas, I had the opportunity to see a plethora of truly fantastic, wholly original blues guitarists all over the state during my formative playing years. Freddie King was from up north in Dallas, Albert Collins was in Houston, and Gatemouth Brown was from the Gulf Coast. Each of them was mind-bending each time I could see them. And see them I did. Seeing those guys was a great inspiration. Their playing styles were just as inspirational as anyone. They were so unique that every performance showed how it was possible to do your own thing." So this is what he said about Albert. And we move now to a few more younger players, more younger bluesmen from more younger generation, let's say, than these other ones that we mentioned. And the first one is Jimmie Vaughan. Jimmie Vaughan is the older brother of Stevie Ray Vaughan, who tragically passed away at an early age, and his career was cut short. Jimmie, to this day, is a good friend of Billy Gibbons. They played together almost every year in special occasions. The two have played during the past years annually in the supergroup The Jungle Show in Texas, which also had Mike Flanagan, Sue Foley, and Chris Layton. In an interview with Goldmine magazine in 2020, Jimmie Vaughan recalled that he knows Gibbons since he was young. And this is an interesting story that Jimmie Vaughan said. This is what he said. "I've known Billy since I was 14. Billy and I are also part of an entourage called The Jungle Show. We just did a pair of concerts last month here in Austin and have been doing it for the last couple of years. We do some ZZ Top songs, some of my songs, and more." So this is what Jimmie said about Gibbons. They've known each other for decades already. And the final one, obviously, that Gibbons mentioned it, is Jimmie's younger brother, Stevie Ray Vaughan, who tragically passed away in 1990 at the age of 35 in a helicopter crash. His career was cut short, and he was an incredible guitar player. And over the years, Gibbons gave many guitars to Vaughan, to Stevie, like a 50s stale maple neck Stratocaster that, according to the Stevie Ray Vaughan archive, he kept the tremolo arm, pickups, and frets in their original condition, but added his signature and his initials on the neck plate and pickguard. So Gibbons also helped Stevie Ray to have some good guitars to play and record with, since he gave him many guitars during his career, his short-lived career, tragically. And these are 7 blues guitarists that Billy Gibbons said are some of the best of all time. Obviously, the list is long, but this is only the list that, these are only the names he mentioned it in this interview with Sammy Hagar, and that we selected a few interesting things that Billy said about them over the years and his connection with some of them, as you was able to see. And this is it. If you want to read more, you can go to the description and visit the article I wrote about it. There's a lot more about these artists and their connection with Billy. Don't forget to visit Rock and Roll Garage, of course, and to like the video, subscribe, and leave your comment. Thank you for watching, and I see you later.